have logic. You don't have empirical thought and abstract expression.
I think
You want me to tell you where Jesus' body is?
Actually, let's go to the next.
You have a lack of understanding of abstract thought.
Apparently, I've recording. Hi guys, I'm right here with.
My name's Alex.
Alright, nice. Yeah, nice to meet you, Alex. So, for you, what happens after you die?
I think that's it. I just think everything goes black, and you sleep forever.
Don't you think that's quite dark?
I mean, yeah, but everything dies. It's kind of just how it works, isn't it?
Don't you believe you have a soul, though?
As much as anyone has a soul, I guess.
Yeah. So doesn't that mean that the soul has to go somewhere else? Because doesn't science say energy cannot be destroyed but only converted, right?
Yeah, but you're now claiming that a soul is energy, like kinetic energy or potential gravitational energy. That's not... A soul is not energy.
Well, my point is that a soul, it can't necessarily just perish like your flesh.
But what evidence do you have that your soul can't perish like flesh?
Alright, so when you look at a dead body, you know the difference, right?
Yeah.
So where did all that life go?
Well, you die and then you get turned into mulch. The idea that a soul is a tangible thing that we have any evidence for is false.
Alright, so listen, let's say we have no soul, right?
Yeah.
You're just a biological chemical from Big Bang Theory. You're just random atoms. You get what I'm trying to say? You are?
Well, yeah.
So why do you feel things? Why do you have feelings if you're just random?
Synapses. I'm just saying.
Wait, so hang on. Are you saying what you're trying to grasp at is like an abstract point that you think that feelings are like a cat has a feeling, a mouse has a feeling?
Not necessarily.
What do you mean? What's the difference between us and then any other kind of biological being?
For example, a tiger, right? Let's say it sees an innocent, animal. Generally it will kill it so it can eat it. But that tiger doesn't really care. It doesn't have a morality. But let's say we see a guy just swipe an old lady. Inherently, we know that's bad. Why? Because we have morality in us. But the question is, where does that come from? Our soul, right? But a deeper question is that, where does our soul come from? Do you believe in a creator? How was the world created for you?
Well, it was obviously the Big Bang, and then survival of the fittest and natural evolution.
So what you're telling me is that nothing creates everything?
Well, yeah, because there was nothing, and then there was something, and then things will eventually grow from it.
Does that make sense logically?
Okay, but you have no empirical evidence for that something was there to create it.
I have evidence.
No. Your evidence is the fact that things exist. That's not evidence. That's just things happening. Like, we have Charles Darwin's study in the Galapagos Islands with birds, which show evolution in like that things evolving in different environments evolve differently. Like, we have empirical evidence of the things that came before and where they've ended up. Your only evidence is that, there's stuff here. Someone must have made it.
I think it's logic. That's logic, right?
How is it logic?
Because when we look at this building, right, we know there had to be a builder, right? We don't have to see the builder to know someone made it, because the building is evidence itself.
Yeah, but cliffs exist.
Yeah, it shows that there has to be a creator if there's a creation.
No, cliffs exist because of erosion. There was water, and then there was land, and the waves kept hitting the water.
So how did the water
and the
get
cliff
there?
exists.
How did the water come?
Because of the moon has the effect on the tides and the gravitational pull of the earth. That's how tides come in and out.
How did the moon come?
Because it's another astral body. Are you all right, bruv?
Okay, how did the astral body come? What I'm trying to say, how did the gases come?
Mate, you're confused.
What I'm trying to say,
You're severely confused.
What I'm trying to say, with every beginning, there's a cause.
No, there's not.
There is.
No, you have a lack of abstract thought. You think that there needs to be a point A that takes you to point B, whereas that's not how life in the universe works, right? You get that, yeah?
If you say so, but I don't necessarily believe in that. Logically, it doesn't make sense.
No, because you don't have logic. You don't have empirical
logic.
Thought and abstract expression.
I think it takes more faith.
You think that there needs to be a beginning start point and someone manipulating it to have an end.
Does it make sense that nothing creates everything? I don't think so.
Bruv,
how can nothing just create something? It doesn't really make sense to me. But let's go on to the...
No, hold. Because that's you admitting you don't understand.
Logically, it doesn't...
That's not evidence, that's you not understanding.
How explain to me how nothing can create?
No. Because there's been
clearly
thousands of years of scientific research which shows you how nothing can lead to something. You can't process that because you can't understand it.
Do you believe Jesus Christ existed?
I believe he existed. I don't believe he's the man that people say he was.
So what would you say for the 500?
I don't believe he rose from the dead.
Thank you. What would you say for the 500 eyewitnesses that claim that they saw Jesus raised from the dead?
Also, the fact that is a translation of a translation of a translation. Right? You're going on. If you're talking, would you? This is a book written by.
What would you say to them?
What do you mean? What would I say?
What would you say to the 500 eyewitnesses that claim they saw Jesus raised from the dead?
Did they interview 500 people?
Back in the days, 2,000 years ago, there was a survey and there were scholars that claimed.
How many disciples? 12. There was 12 witnesses.
But there was 500.
Okay, there's 12 witnesses. There's 12 witnesses that say they were 500 witnesses.
But there was also scholars.
If someone gets attacked in the street and 12 people saw it, 12 people can say 500 people saw it, right? That's not 500 people, that's 12 people saying 500 people 2,000 years ago with no evidence.
No evidence.
You have a lack of abstract
So where's Jesus'
thought.
body?
You keep cutting me off when I tell you have a lack of understanding. You need to research and think for yourself,
So
young
where's
man.
Jesus' body? They can't seem to find it. They can't seem to find it.
What? You want me to tell you where Jesus' body is?
Actually, let's go to the next. Let's go to the next.
Have a good night. You're done, bro. You have a lack of understanding of abstract thought.
Apparently, I have a lack of understanding.
Doesn't change anything about your person.
Huh?
Doesn't mean you're a bad person.